Let's watch some gaming drama. Shall we? So, Camelot Unchained is supposedly is built to successor to MMORPG from back in the day, even before World of Warcraft. That was very popular, very successful. And then it died. And now the original creator, one of them, is kind of, let's not say scamming people, but also not delivering on what he promises.
It was the night before Christmas, and all through the house, not a creature was stirring. Not even a Transformer Jim Jam wearing 50-odd-year-old Camelot Unchained fan. What up, friendos? Welcome back. Hopefully you had a good Christmas. Obviously we've missed that, and it's now the new year. It's 2026. I'm sure I'll definitely remember to update everything to say 2026 for the next few months, as I always don't do. But it is 2026, and with the start of this year does come another missed deadline, another failed promise, another thing that has really even failed to be addressed in any kind of way. And what I'm talking about, of course, is Camelot Unchained Entertainment. You have to like look at this rash I have on my neck. It's crazy, right? It hurts, like it's very itchy. It sucks. But basically, even people on the subreddit, which to be fair, there's not that many fans, there's not that many true believers left on the social media for Camelot Unchained anymore, because pretty much everybody who is one of the Jim Jam wearers, you know, running downstairs in their freshly slept in Transformers Jim Jams, just hoping that this was going to release around Christmas time, most of those guys have been drowned out on the sub. They've basically been downvoted so much by the haters. The haters have took control of the ship, and they've gone elsewhere. They've probably got a little conclave somewhere where they all just sit around and reminisce about 25 years ago when they used to play Dark Age of Camelot. I'm talking a lot of shit, but at the same time,
So it was 2001. Oh, like 2001. Yeah, can see that.
I'm like, I feel bad for people who really wanted a Dark Age of Camelot 2, because what they got instead was over a decade of disappointment, and as well as, of course, some what seems like lies from Camelot Unchained and from Unchained Entertainment.
Oh, who could have guessed? Who could have guessed that that would lie to make money? Right, chat? Who could have guessed that?
So, if you've not been following along with this story, you'll have no clue what I've talked about here. I don't know why you've clicked the video, to be honest. I'm not going to be able to do a recap because it's like an hour and a half long of context that you need to understand to follow this story. But basically, the update here is that with the end of 2025, Camelot Unchained obviously released a video 2 months ago. This wasn't a long time ago. It was the end of October. So you've got November, December, and we've just started January. So 2 months ago, for whatever reason, after complete radio silence for fucking what seems like years, but mostly just long months, they came out and started releasing a bunch of trailers, you know.
The footage that I just saw, just fixed on the screen, it looked horrible. The tree at the beginning looked fine, but then I saw a building and it was horrible. Absolute horrible. Sorry for that.
Trailers, let's air quotes that one, because what were they really? And of these videos, which again, they started like 4-ish months ago with a really, you know, internal playtest in August of 2025. What started
after 10 years, they publish a video about the internal playtest. Shouldn't that have been something they would have done, I don't know, 3 years in development, 4 maybe, but not 10?
With this ended with them basically saying oh, early access coming 2025, definitely, as you can see here, literally advertised on their social media. 2025 early access. And obviously, as the months were rolling on, you're leaving yourself less and less and less time. But 2 months ago, they thought, oh, we're definitely going to be ready for early access in 2025. And then the end of the year happens, and they don't even mention it. Like, it's not even as if they didn't have the opportunity to, or they didn't post a message, because they did right here, December 26th, Boxing Day, the day after Christmas Day. Folks, as the year comes to a close, we wanted to take a moment to address the status of Camelot Unchained's development, as well as what you can expect in the near future. For the past few months, we've been expanding our testing regime with our backers. According to the thread that this was posted in, nobody's really even noticed any difference. I might be wrong on that, but at least when I checked when this was originally posted, people were like, anyone in the alpha want to say what this is? Like, is there anything new happening? Have I missed something? And they were like, no, it's pretty much the same old. So thanks in part.
Wait. So the playtesters saying that the game hasn't changed at all since all the last playtests before? That, by the way, is a very bad sign. Just so you know, that this is bad. This is really bad. You would think there would be some development of a game when they're working on a game, right? I wonder what's happening here.
To their feedback and support, we've been pushing out new content, fixing bugs, delivering on our goal of releasing our Realm vs. Realm MMORPG. This reads like a press statement, by the way, not a message to their fans, of which, you know, how many they even got remaining at this stage. We want to thank all of them for their time and efforts again, just as we have done in the past. We have made tremendous progress in the last few months, let alone the last year, as we have taken Camelot Unchained down to the studs and are in the process of rebuilding it. We have resumed regularly scheduled playtests of the game with backers, starting with our internal testers and expanding to more tiers soon. So I guess that's why nobody who paid for access to this fucking thing has noticed any difference with this. The next step in this progress will begin early in January and will consist of a series of break the build tests with our internal backers, followed by the rest of our backers. Once that has been successfully accomplished, we will open CU up more often, and soon thereafter early access can begin. So they do mention the early access elephant in the room, I guess, but they don't mention their missed deadline. Like, this must just be one.
Why would they? That would make them look bad. Officially. Not mentioning them, it makes them only look bad unofficially.
One of those things, we might call it narcissism, or I don't know in the business world what you'd call it, but never addressing your own failings or things that you've said that make you look bad. Surely, like, one of the benefits, I've always said this, one of the only things you have going for you as an indie company or a small group of people or a human being, like a small YouTube channel such as mine or a small mom and pop business or whatever, one of the only strengths that you have is your ability to be a human to the people that are your customers.
Yes.
Right? People can message you, you can speak to them.
Yes,
there's no
absolutely.
like corporate red tape, you don't have to lie to them. You don't have to obfuscate like anything beyond personal circumstances or whatever. You can just be a person to everybody. Why is it that a lot of these companies, a lot of these people responsible for these games and these Kickstarter failed projects, why they always take the route of just completely losing that or throwing it away? And I guess there are a couple reasons that this happens, one of which is people in these fan bases are obviously usually fucking unhinged a lot of the times.
Yes.
Like if you'll notice a lot of smaller communities, and especially if it's smaller communities that are like hardcore audiences that also give money over to something, of course they're going to turn pretty fucking vitriolic and hateful once stuff
Absolutely.
doesn't start going their way. We know the gaming industry is rife with this, and a lot of developers come out and speak openly about the fact that while they initially want to be like close to their community or whatever, they eventually have to stop because the community is just shit by and large. And everyone will experience this when you've been through it. But at the same time, that is one of the strengths that you have. And depending on how you are with the community and what you do, that is going to determine whether or not the community does turn against you and whether or not you can continue doing this. And obviously with Camelot Unchained, the community turned against him a long time ago. But now, even still, you could be honest and you could say, yeah, we thought we'd have been ready. I don't know how. 3 months ago, you thought, oh, we're definitely within the next 3 months going to be ready for early access. But now you don't even have a date for early access.
Yeah,
and you've
that's
missed
bad.
it, and you're not addressing the fact that you've missed it. You're just basically saying, oh, yeah, early access soon-ish. Who knows, after these tests, blah, blah, blah. Instead of, yeah, we missed that. We thought we'd be ready. We aren't. But don't worry, we will be soon. We know you're all looking forward to playing the game as soon as possible. I am, for sure. Until then, we will continue to showcase the intense effort put into developing CU.
Just like I looked forward to playing High Guard, but turns out I can't because my computer's too old. So I don't have the two things that are needed for the anti-cheat. Funny.
With frequent teaser/informational videos, developer live streams, more backer-led testing, and highlights of major milestones that have been reached. We cannot thank you enough for your support over the years, and we look forward to sharing more of what we put together in 2026. The UCE team, Unchained Entertainment team. Now let's pad this video out until ad revenue mark. Just being transparent with you, obviously, and look through the social media comments where people are discussing this, because obviously you can't discuss this on their social media. I'm surprised you can even discuss this on the Reddit, to be honest, because the person who runs this subreddit is a fucking penis. There is obviously people making claims in this thread that I might as well address, I guess. I expect the game to launch, stay live for 6 months or so to avoid claims of failure to deliver, and then we'll get a sad message about lack of revenue and subsequent game closure. The timing of when that happens probably only matters to the bean counters and contract lawyers at this point. The only ramifications for Camelot Unchained is going to be not to the public, because you're owed nothing. If you back this on Kickstarter or bought into this and you think you have some kind of like legal claim or that he does actually legally owe you anything, obviously there's the meme of when he did say this, I'm not legally or morally obligated to give you anything, or whatever the quote was. He's not wrong. Like, in terms of when people gave him money on Kickstarter or pledged towards development of a game, if the game doesn't end up releasing, he doesn't have to release a minimum viable product. He doesn't have to say, oh, it's out now, you can play the game, to avoid any kind of like civil litigation from the public, because you essentially donated to the development of a game. And we've seen this with other Kickstarters. It's not going to go anywhere. If anyone tries to sue him over this, it will be a complete waste of time. I think the only way that any kind of repercussions happen with this, or anyone really holds him accountable or whatever, which I'm not saying he does even need to be, because I don't know the internals of the company well enough to know whether or not anything crazy's happened, or whether it's just another case of you've given somebody a bunch of money, they've tried to do something and they just didn't have the skill set and they failed to do so, which is not illegal in any way. It's not something you're probably reasonably going to get sued for. But investors have given him tens of millions of dollars, whereas the public only ever gave him like 1.4 or whatever, and that went like literally a fucking decade ago. So the only people he has to try to, like, you know, avoid.
Why would any investor give that guy money? Why? But most likely because they didn't know what they were doing. They just listened to what he was saying and they didn't investigate anything. That's the only explanation I have here, that on why anyone would give him money.
Claims of failure to deliver with is the investors, and that's obviously something we'll have to wait and see if anything does happen. And my issue is they just clearly announced early access 2025. It wasn't subtle. This was marketing, and marketing done very badly yet again. It wasn't veiled and we misunderstood. Missing the deadline isn't the issue, IMO. This is exactly my problem, by the way, and always will be my problem with things like this. It's the fact that they make this announcement and then a few days before the end of the year backtrack with no communication of any real capacity in between. Yeah, and again, they didn't even really address the fact that they'd missed a deadline. They just...
Well, of course not. It would make them look bad. Hey, Loki. Loiken? I hope I pronounced that correctly. Yeah, they of course they want to deflect as much negativity as possible, so people continue giving them money. It's very, very simple. It's all about money.
just pretended you didn't notice there was a deadline. Like, they didn't say, oh, we did miss it, guys, but don't worry, things are coming along great. They just pretended it didn't exist, which, I don't know. If you're looking for goodwill from anybody for doing anything, the first thing you do is acknowledge a mistake you've made or acknowledge when you've done something wrong or disappointed people. Or just imagine you've got a fan base. Let's pretend you're Camelot Unchained and you have fans. You don't. You've got no fans. But let's just imagine you do. Let's think it's Christmas. They've been waiting for fucking over a decade. They've given us goodwill for a decade. They're the ones, the diehards that have still stuck with us this whole time.
Yeah.
It's now the day after Christmas. Let's just show a bit of...
The diehards, the people that are the least intelligent. Because that's fundamentally what's going on here. If after a decade of this happening, you're still... Oh yeah, I can't wait until this game comes out. You're retarded. Absolutely.
Contrition and just say, yeah, guys, we messed up, but don't worry, things are on track and we're definitely very close. And this is the date you can look forward to, but obviously we're not good at keeping dates, so just bear with us. Be fucking human. But of course, instead of that, it's Christmas. Fuck you. Here's your present. We ignore the fact that we did wrong.
Yeah,
again.
of course. Yeah.
What type of dumbass approved early access 2025 and then decided to stop most communication about early access and cancel early access with little to no comment at the end of the year? The level of this mismanagement here drives me crazy. It's less... I mean, it is mismanagement on that level of it, but the big issue here is the lack of care, right? I can always forgive when somebody backs off more than they can chew and they just want to do more than they're capable of doing because it's the dreamer, right? Everyone...
Yeah, that's just like me. That's just like me. I'm always biting off more than I can chew. But I'm still here.
Everyone can understand wanting to do great things, wanting to excel. That's kind of where I draw the line on Kickstarter stuff and people taking money off of strangers to do something. And if that was what you were doing and you were failing, it's one way. But the minute you just start talking shit about your fans or ignoring your fans or, you know, or even if you know you don't legally owe them anything, treating them as if and letting them know you don't owe them anything, that's fucked up. Like, that's where you absolutely lose me 100% of the time. Jacobs has always been a liar and a thief. That's one of the comments. This truly is the subreddit that just keeps on giving. Yeah. With not supplying anything but irony. Is MJ still with the company, sucking every last penny through his dirty straw? I don't even know what that means, but it's funny, so it has to be included. I have no fucking idea what is a dirty straw in this context. So they did post a video on... was this on Christmas Day? What day was this posted? And one of the comments said, my Christmas would have been better.
Look how bad this looks. And that's after 10 years of development. Just look at this scene. This is horrible. Vanilla Vow looked way better than this. How can this be so bad? How? Oh my god. This is going, by the way, to be a thumbnail.
Or if I didn't watch this video, which is fucking hell. This was posted on the 23rd. Okay. So here you go.
Oh my. This looks like a game from the 2000s. And even back then it was Okay. This is bad.
The armor showcase. For some reason, it's in terrible quality. Oh, there we go.
To be fair, it doesn't really look better. The thing that looks best here is the water. And that's just something in engine. This is they didn't work on that. That's just, you know, every game with that engine has that water or can have that water unless you change it. I guarantee you that.
There's a noticeable difference in quality, I guess.
What the fuck is that? Look how lifeless this looks. I mean, to be fair, this statue with the lions here, that looks good. This looks good. But it's in all the color-wise, it looks like it's supposed to be here. The rest of this looks. It looks like it has no life to it. It looks so. It looks so 2003. It looks like an MMO that came out at the same time as World of Warcraft. And World of Warcraft just blew it out graphics wise. This is so bad.
Is it my browser or is the frame rate on this really fucking bad? For this trailer that I watched in 2003 for an upcoming MMO that released 1 month later.
See? He agrees with me. This is shit.
One played it for like a week and then it died. There we go. This is Merry Christmas. Here you go, guys. Here's your present.
This is the exact opposite of building hype. After 10 years of development, if you show me this, I know you fucked up. I know you this is never coming out. Never. Even Star Citizen is better than this.
Oh, it's a fucking armor showcase for Camelot Unchained, a game that's probably never coming out. Oh, mate, that's sick. Oh, you knew exactly what I wanted. That's sick. Can I return this? No, you can't. There's no refunds. Either way, I think that's it. I think I milked this one dry. The dead horse, obviously, people always come at me with that one. Oh, it's fucking being a dead horse, aren't you? If the dead horse is still moving, and I still have a stick, and everyone around me is cheering and saying, "Fucking finish that horse off." Yeah, of course I'm going to continue doing it because. I think one of the only things that you can gain from these Kickstarter projects or projects that took people's money regards to platform and didn't deliver anything is videos like this and the communities that spring up and people talking about it and having a laugh at the expense of the money that you lost, because obviously you're most likely not going to get a game that is commensurately enjoyable. I don't even know if that makes sense Englishly. Enjoyable enough for the money that you spent and the time that you waited. But either way, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. There's a link in the video description if you want to go and support me, go buy some GamerSupps type stuff. Use my code, you'll get a discount, I'll get a kickback, and suggest content you want to see me cover. We'll be checking in on all the greatest hits again as time goes on in the new year, and just seeing whether anything's happened. Obviously, Camelot Unchained, nothing has. But within the next couple of months, hopefully there'll be something publicly playable. And that reminds me, I need to force myself to go and play Ashes of Creation. That launched at the worst fucking time ever, by the way.
Wait, Ashes of Creation launched? I haven't heard of that. Oh, that's bad. Probably already dead. I've been busy playing Arc Raiders. And I don't plan to stop.
Right on the eve of the new PoE League, going into the Christmas season and stuff. So I haven't touched that. And to be honest, even though I'd get paid to touch it by ad revenue, I really fucking don't want to, but I might suffer through that one and we'll see what happens. But either way, thanks for watching. See you next time. Stay safe. Peace.
Everything he said but me.